Time with Todd and Aaron.
It's time for Q&A with T&A. By the way, that stands for Todd and Aaron. All right, welcome back to Q&A with T&A. This is Mr. Todd Downing. Todd, how are you doing this evening, sir?
Spooktacular. Well, I can't say spooktacular yet because that's not till next month. So
Yeah, we still have a couple days.
Still got a couple days. It is fall though, so we can say happy fall, y'all. We can say that finally.
Can't say that. Excellent. So we got all that going. Well, by the way, my name is Aaron Montgomery, and we are with Our Success Group. And Todd, it feels like it's been a long time since we've done this, because it has.
It has been. And we had an amazing month last month with training. That week-long boot camp, that to me was like the cherry in the top of summer. You know, the dog days of summer loving, had me a blast. Nothing can compare to that. That was such fun. And to see the progress that people have made through that, and then just those wheels turning, like, oh yeah, you know, I can do this for the fourth quarter. I can do this. It's okay to fail because I'm trying stuff. You know, there is just so much great knowledge that come out of it. And guess what? You know, fourth quarter starts in 2 days, right?
That's
3
right.
days. It's right there. It starts soon.
So yeah, 3 days. I guess I forget. 31st. Yep. Or no, it would be 2 days.
But it would be tomorrow's the 29th, and then the 30th. So day 3 would be the first, right? Is that
yeah?
How that goes?
Yeah. So
something like that.
2.5, 3 days. Somewhere in there. We're in the right ballpark.
Yes, we are. And so I'm super excited about what that's going to bring. You know, we have our stuff that we're doing, and we actually started a little early because you know that's the thing. You know, once you have your plan in place, why do you have to wait to start, right? Best time to start is now. We got the plan. We put it in place. We have picked up new customers. We have reached out to other people to see about helping them with their needs. And then we got brought into a couple different circles. So we haven't even really pushed any of our paid stuff yet, you know, based on what our plan was to do. And we've picked up, I think we're sitting at 12 customers. So 12 new customers. I'm super excited about that. We didn't have before that weren't through our normal channel. So I'm loving it. We've had September was a great month, and it's only going to get better from here on out. So super excited.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. Yeah, it was a great month, and I'm just back from a trip to Myrtle Beach. Actually got back today, so I'm feeling excited and ready to kind of get back into the swing of things here. So I'm not even sure which way is up right now, but that's okay.
Well, and that's why I wasn't sure, because you know last week I knew you were leaving, and this I'm like, where's everything fall into place in this? So I'm like, let me find out. Let's find out, because you know it's where in the world is Aaron? You know, it's like there. You should just have a map, and
right.
Here it is, and you know, just follow him around, and it would have been great.
Right.
You know, but you made it. We're here.
We made it. All right. Well, let's check in with a couple people here, Todd. We've got Curtis. Hello, Curtis. I've been gone so much that he was talking about some new venture that you had. What new venture is this?
Well, you know, we've been battling this. What do we do? Do we do a build out? Do we find a spot? How, you know, it's been a battle back and forth. And lo and behold, you know, we've had some, like I said, September was a good month. I went to a couple of training classes, to a couple open houses, did some stuff, and talked with one of our other suppliers on things. And they found a building that they were looking at getting that has a spot for me if I would like it. And so we did some negotiations around, and they'd never done like a real estate transaction of, here, how's this work for leasing? And I said, let's get my realtor involved and let's go do this. I said, because at the end of the day, I said, I just need space for me, and I will help you with your business, and we'll do some stuff together. And so that started about a week-long process of searching for stuff. The first one that we went to look at, you know, said that it had an overhead door, and there was no overhead door. And that was fun, because the owner of the building's like, there's not one. He was like, we can put one in, but we're going to lose a quarter of it because it was below grade. He goes, but I got another place around the corner if you'd be interested in it. And just wheels started turning on how we can fit, you know, 4 different businesses in there. And So I had my realtor write up some stuff, and they looked at me like I was crazy. Not my realtor, the other people involved. And I said, listen, all they can say is no, right? All they can say is no. You don't know if you don't ask. And so I said, send it. Let's see what happens, right? Let's see what happens. And they accepted a lot of our stuff, and we are scheduled for a final walkthrough. And I think we were signing a lease on 3,500 square foot building. So I'm pretty sure we're doing that. So there'll be a lot of moving parts in it. There's right now going to be 2, 3, 4 businesses in it. So how you can sub things up and make things all fall into place, and help others out and create new revenue streams. And it's going to be a fun undertaking. Like I said, I missed the retail side of things, but I did not miss the storefront. We all know that. I did not miss the storefront at all. And I was very adamantly that I am not going to have any part of that. I will help, but I am not. I'm not looking to be forward in the storefront. But I'm looking forward to the other stuff that comes around with it. Gets me the space that we need. Because what it was going to be it would cost me a lot more than what I thought it was going to convert the garage. I'm like, oh, what's some insulation and some new electrical, and $20,000 later, I'm like, whoa. I don't know about a $20,000 remodel. So I was kind of leery about pulling the trigger on stuff, and when kind of came up, and you know how that goes when things just kind of fall into place, and it's like, okay, maybe it's meant to be. It's meant to be, and it sounds like it is meant to be.
All right. So you got a space. I'm still not sure I totally understand all of it. You said you're going to help somebody's business, stuff like that. But
okay,
sounds pretty darn cool. So
the overall thing of it is we met with, we were over at Wensco. Our Wensco is our local sign supply shop. They have all of our that. It was one of our other business partners that we had met with over there. First time they'd ever been to a show. And we were talking about auto wraps. I'm like, yeah, here's what, I said, I've done some in the past. I said, they can be good money. Here's the things to go to it. So sat in the class, and they really wanted to learn more about it. So I helped them out lettering a vehicle, and then 2 vehicles. And they said, I think I really want to focus this on my business. I'm like, there's a lot that goes into this. Look at numbers, look at how everything is. And then they went out and sold 30 bus wraps. So they sold 30 bus wraps, and now there needs to be a spot for those 30 buses to be wrapped. And I said, okay, let's get the realtor on the phone and see what we can find. So so a new wrap business, I'll be a part of that. I will be a part of I won't be a part of the storefront. That is a Corey undertaking. My business will be over there, 2 other ones in there. And it's just the people that I work with locally, we've always preached that co-opetition type thing.
Uh-huh.
And so that's what it is everybody coming together for the greater good. And it's been a whirlwind the last 2.5, 3 weeks. It has just been crazy.
Wow.
Numbers didn't lie. Everything fell into place. I was kind of leery about when we get a signed contract that's for 30 bus wraps, then that makes saying, yeah, we can sign a lease a hell of a lot easier when you have the business here to support that. So
Very cool.
It's been fun. So yeah, that's it. I'll know more this coming week once we have everything, and then actually find out who is going to really be a part of it. Because I pretty much told people today, it's time to nut up or shut up. You're either in or you're out, because these are the parts that are going to happen. If you're not willing to make these sacrifices, then you can't be a part of it, and that's the thing. You're either all in or all out. There is no, there's it's that time. You gotta go for it. So yeah, it is
very cool.
It's fun. So that's what we got. That's what we got going on.
Very cool. Very, very cool. All right. Well, let's keep moving here. Check in with some folks, and then we can hit the questions that we've got here. So Tanya, hello. It was good to meet Tanya and Jay in person. I got to meet them. I guess it was Saturday that I was seeing them. Yeah. And then we went and hung out with them and chatted with them, had some drinks on Saturday night before.
So you got them a little liquored up, and then you went and ransacked their truck. Is that what you did? Was that you? Was that you? That's what you did?
Jay does not drink. So no liquoring up there. I think Tanya had one maybe. And yeah. So we just sat there and, the usual, just talking about stuff. And they came to realize that, long time ago, Clay had actually sold them Action Illustrated stuff back in the day. So they were kind of reminiscing about that. That was really cool. So
I think that's the best part of the shows, is always those after drinks and that. I was invited to go down for DTFTU for this Friday nights. They were doing a 4:00 class, but they had to cancel because they're in the hurricane right now. So they're like, here, you want to come down to Fort Worth and tell your experience? I'm like, if you're paying, I'm flying. All right. But that all went out the window. But yeah, I love those parts where those conversations that you get to have with people off the floor. That's when I think some of the best ideas come from, is just, off the floor.
Yeah. Very cool. Awesome. Yeah, it was great. So good to see and catch them. Chuck, good evening.
What's up, Chuck?
Jerry, good afternoon. Yep, made it back all safe and sound today. And Stephanie says, I'm from Tennessee. We definitely say fall, y'all. So
okay. I'm getting there. The more stuff that I have to print out that says fall, y'all, I'm getting in that fall spirit. But today was the first day that we actually started printing stuff for somebody for Valentine's Day. So I thought that was amazing that here we are ready for the fourth quarter, and they were already thinking Valentine's Day to get stuff up and out there for it. So I was super excited about that.
Yeah. And thank you, Curtis. Hit that like button. All right. So Facebook user says wrap business is a great one that is timeless. Vehicle advertising is a solid go-getter, getting after it. And I don't think I can get that. Actability. Yeah, something like that. So
I think it works. And that's FU Facebook user.
Yes, Facebook user. So go to osg.link/FU for Facebook user. And that way we can know who we're talking to here. Also agree that the nut up or shut up mentality, doing it or don't, period. And amazing that someone planned ahead, especially for that.
Yeah, I love that whenever I see somebody planning, because we know, like, we will still even do stuff for Halloween and that. It's 4 weeks away. It's there. But on our side, if somebody wants to sell something, I got to make sure to have it out and then shipped so they have time to sell it. So that's why we're, already working on Christmas stuff and that. When I asked them about it, they said, well, I'm ordering other stuff in. I wanted to start doing bundle packages. And so I'm like, here, this shirt. I'm like, totally makes sense, because they know that first quarter is a slower time for them. So if they can put a bundle package together now and show stuff off, that just makes perfect sense. So thinking ahead is always clear. And they know that, hey, if I'm slower in that time, what can I start doing now to build that, instead of waiting until it's slow to realize, oh, what do I do now? So kudos to them for doing that. It was a great thing.
Yep, definitely. All right. So just again, head to osg.link/FU and we can see who it is that we're talking to here. So appreciate you tuning in and being a part of this conversation. Okay. Well, Todd, I know you've got some stuff happening here. So we're on a little tighter timeline than typical today. So
we can go make it to 6 because our stuff got canceled tonight. So boom. So if we have to go a little over, we'll go a little over. It's been a while, right? It's been a while.
It has been. Yeah, I love it. Okay. Well, let's dive right into it though. So how do I know if vendor show is right for me?
Ooh, this one. It's the best way to answer this for me. I think you just know. It's tough because you have to know, is it your market? Is it your people? Is it a new one? Is it an established one? Do they have numbers? There's a lot, because there's some that, are fairly new that aren't well attended, that you're going to go there and you're going to go and not have anything. I have always been, very clear on my purpose of going to a vendor show. And that purpose is to not make any sales and make connections. Because then if I do make sales, I'm super excited because I made sales, but making those connections with it. And in our line of work, it's not necessarily the customers, it's the other people that are there in a booth. They're there selling stuff. You can look around and see, okay, they don't have anything on their table that says who they are. They don't have a tent that says who they are. They don't have a shirt that says who they are. They have a sign over here that's handwritten. What are other ways that I can help with them? Because then maybe they have something I like and we can trade it out. Oh, I really like that. Hey, I do this. Can we do some trade here? How can we work together to further each other's business? So I go into it looking to make connections. And that's any kind of show that we go to. If you get sales, great. If you need the sales to get it, then it's probably not for you. Because anytime when you go in thinking, I need these sales to happen, what happens? Goose egg. And then you're just screwed. Or the other thing is you prepare. I'm preparing for this one for 3 months, and you get there, and my friend, the wind or the rain show up, and then it's just horrible. The wind shows up and blows everything around. It's raining, and nobody comes out. And guess what? They don't refund for that. Sorry, read the fine print. Maybe we'll be able to reschedule it for another day, but at this point, you're just out. So, just read the paperwork on it. Be very optimistic with it. And I think if you go into it looking, I want to make connections, then you're going to be a lot better off. But
yeah,
that's always been my kind of take on it. What do you got there for us, Aaron?
Yeah, I mean, I think you got it. I mean, there's a couple things here that that I guess I wanted to share kind of on top of that too. I agree with everything you said there. You kind of got to have some realistic expectations first and foremost, and a lot of times, like you said, the vendor events are really hard to quantify, right? Say, I've got to go and sell X amount of dollars, because there is a lot of, like Tanya said here, the collaboration and networking in the event is gold, right? And we know that we're going to lose money initially for TJ Stitch, but we're gaining connections, right? Yeah. So you have to understand that part first. And I think you guys, Todd, you really hit that well, and Tanya kind of summarized great for us there. The other thing that I would say here is, I think we get stuck in this trap of, what's the best way to put this? This trap of like, oh, well, everybody's doing vendor events, so I got to do vendor events. Or somebody said this is really great, and I should go do that, right? And
what is that? The imposter syndrome? Or no?
Because everybody else is doing more of where you're like, why me? Why should somebody?
Yeah, I mean, with someone where it's everybody else is doing it, so I'm the follower. There's a thing where it's called.
Yeah, what is that called?
It's got to be on your board back there. Let me see if I can read it.
Probably somewhere back there, but I mean, it's FOMO, really, right? It's
right.
Fear of missing out, and so that's the first thing I would kind of, I guess, say is look at that. Right, vendor events are not for everybody. It takes a very special person. Like if I was just going to go and do a vendor event myself, and as somebody that will do this, as somebody that gets out there, blah, 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 it's not for me, right? I'm not going to be the guy standing out in front of the table, getting people in there and selling stuff. It's just not who I am, right? I love making connections. I love talking to people and all that other stuff. But to be the person that's there selling stuff, it's just not my thing, right? So first and foremost, I think you need to look at it from that perspective. Is this really going to be something that's valuable for you? Right. And so from that, then, I think a big part of it is kind of going, okay, now I need to find out the information about it and understand the people putting it on. They're going to tell you all the positives. Right. So reaching out to some of the other vendors that have done it in the past. Right. You hear things, people there's a theme that always happens. Right. Been to different shows. We were just talking about different shows that some are organized, some are not so organized, some are, and I think unfortunately you can't tell when people are going to show up and are they showing up to buy the stuff that you're there for. So yeah, go ahead, Todd.
Yeah, I think you brought up a great thing. When you're asking questions, one of the questions to ask is, how many are returning from last year? If you've got 75% or more vendors returning from the year before, then that, hey, if they're returning, then it had to be doing something right. So it's finding those questions, asking those things, and because everybody that puts on a vendor show puts it on with the good intentions, right? They want to generate money for themselves or for their organization, and they want to, hopefully people will come in to spend money with the people that are buying the space, so everybody is successful with it. Does that always happen? No. A lot of times it doesn't. Especially in the craft fair type of things, I'm seeing more and more where it's becoming, a third craft and 2/3 MLM. They're just looking to fill a space, and that's where it's there. I mean, even our farmers market, that's getting a lot of, I'd say maybe 10-15% of it is all MLM now. And it was like, really, that's not something I would have thought of before, but hey, if they're getting out there and they're looking at, that's a spot that can be paid and filled. If somebody wants to come do it, they're going to come do it. Sometimes you get a good one that says, we're only going to allow one of those in. So we're only going to let one Tupperware or one Scentsy or one, and sometimes, man, there's 15 of them in there, and you're all battling for the same thing. And it was like, what I'd really noticed it was the LuLaRoe time when that was big, man. Those gals were everywhere, and it kind of worked good because people were trading stuff back and forth. I didn't understand it at all. I'm like, are these like baseball cards? What do you mean? And I didn't understand this concept. Like, wait a minute. So you're buying into something and you don't even get to choose what you get. You're just spending money and then you're just getting it, and that's what you have to sell. Like, what kind of racket is this? But they did it. Which, sidebar, if anybody wants to watch a good documentary, that is a good one to watch on that, because you figure they went from a nothing business to what, $400 million business in 3 years. Like, just, they had good intentions. I feel they just put the wrong people in the wrong positions. They gave everybody their family jobs and nobody was qualified for it, and grew way too fast, way too quick. But it's a pretty good documentary. I would definitely watch that.
Yep. All right, here we go, Todd. This one's for you.
Dawn, that's what it is. It's Dawn.
And Don says, very true. I did CES 1 year, spent like 30 grand. No good. But the next year I just sent peeps with my cards. Worked great. And also Don said, Todd, I sold my Mamarkey.
Yeah. Oh, she's been wanting to get rid of that forever. So I think it needed a head or something. She's having issues with it, and it just been a thorn in her side. So congratulations on that. Way to go.
Very, very, very good. All right. So Wendy, good afternoon. Such a productive day. Great to hear.
It was here too. It was a good productive day.
Yeah. Don said I had samples also, and it was allowed with the paid pass. So there you go.
Nice.
Excellent. And then Eric said, hi there. And Curtis said, no one showed up this weekend. No business for anyone. Curtis was at an event this weekend. And that sucks, right? I mean, I get it. Unfortunately, that's going to happen. So, that's one to kind of go, okay, the organizers, what happened? Where was everybody? Was it, weather issues or whatever? Unfortunately, you can't kind of make a decision about whether vendor fairs are for you based on one event, unfortunately.
Well,
you got to work at it.
Yeah. Like that, no one showed up, no business for anyone. That's one of the questions that, when you're inquiring about a vendor, is what kind of, promotion are they doing for it? What kind of advertising for it? Are they just, that's it? It's up to you to do. So then you're bringing the people in. Are they doing any kind of Facebook advertising, in groups and the swap sites, anything like that? Are they just putting up the yard signs and the pole signs? Are they putting it, on a billboard? Those are all questions to ask, because, where I have usually found the best luck ones are the ones that say, here's our things, but if you have any ideas, we'd love to hear them. Because I've always felt that when the vendor fair allows the vendors to help take part in it, that it turns into a better show, because then you feel ownership with it, and that's what you do. There's a group of them that'll work together and put it. We got, it was one of the things that we actually just talked about this morning, was hosting a vendor fair for the school. Because Aaron, you haven't been around for a while. This guy has got really tired of PTA, and because PTA, I didn't realize that there's a difference between PTA and PTO. Do you know what the difference is?
Association and organization.
You have to pay to be in the PTA. So the PT, you have to pay to be part of the PTA. If you don't pay, you're a PTO. So that's the big thing about it. If you're a PTA, you have to pay to be in the national organization or national association for all that.
Okay.
So if you're a PTO, you don't
know that.
Well, so we sat in on ours because there was just some issues, and I'm like, I just don't understand this. And I think I gave a couple of them a gut check when I said, PTO is a business. Like that's what it is. You're in the business to raise funds. And if you're not doing things correctly, that's why there's no funds here. Like, why aren't we doing any kind of sponsorship with any of the local businesses that are in our area of the district? Why aren't we asking more? Why aren't we trying to get more involvement? What are we doing? I'm like, this is the failing business, and this is why. This is what we need to do. And so I laid stuff out there, and it was kind of two people come up to me after the fact. They're like, yeah, so we've been wanting to say that for a couple of years, but nobody wanted to. I'm like, why? I'm like, we're trying to raise money for school equipment, and when you're like, hopefully we can raise $11,000 by the end of the school year, I'm like, by the end of the school year, I'm like, why don't we have that by the end of 2022? What are you talking about? I'm like, we can have that by Christmas. What kind of things do we have set in place? And there was really no plan of attack. There was no real. I'm like, no. This is how it is. So I got myself roped into it because they said, you spoke up. Now you get to, put your put your stuff in there. So we did that. We did part of the fun run that did well. We did We started looking at a movie night, a bingo night, dodgeball nights, and now a vendor fair. I'm like, we have the room, that everything's here. I'm like, there's an opportunity for money to be made. And so, yeah, it's like you said, September was a great month. It was a lot of community event based things and talking to other people, getting out there to see what we could do and help. And like I said, when you do that, it all comes back to you.
Yeah. Becky says, but you get a lot of benefits being part of a PTA that you don't have with a PTO.
But when you got to pay for it, and you know what our budget, well, you know what it was in the bank account? Negative. After they paid insurance, there's negative. I'm like, why is there a negative account? I'm like, I don't understand this. Help me. How does this possible? And that's where I said, yeah, we've got to fix it. So that's what the goal is to end the year with a positive, with new equipment and a positive account. I think that is a great goal to have for this year.
There you go. I love it. So Wendy says, I've been on both sides of the vendor show gig. I've switched to specific events. Yes, there are vendors, but I am doing logo items of the event specific. So very cool.
Yep. And that's where we found our best thing is, if we did any kind of tournament, that's where we've always succeeded at, because, hey, we did the tournament merch. So you knew you had those guaranteed sales. May not have been a whole lot, but you knew that you're the only one doing it. So if there was a way to do it, where I've seen people on our side really do well at, especially with sublimation, is any kind of show, whether that's a car show, dog show, rabbit show, whatever and they're able to do something with the event logo or the placement of it. And then you can have them text you the picture of your car, your animal, your kid, whatever it is with it. And then you can put that on stuff right there. Because that's a great thing about sublimation. You can just create the template and you can just drop pictures in there, so they can text you a picture and you can have done. So I've seen that a lot of people have good turnout with that. And, there's nothing better than, a car show is where I've seen the last two on here's the event. And then now my car is part of the event because it's in there. So yeah, it's
very cool.
It's always fun. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to just change the view here real quick and see if we like it better. Is that better?
Woo! I'm a lot bigger.
Not really. Because then our games go away. All right. just was looking. Just was trying something new. All right, cool. Well, let's get to the next question here. And so when should I go legit and get a business license? I answered this at least 3 times this weekend, by the way.
Oh, okay. So you have you probably have a pocket answer ready to go, don't you?
I do. Are you ready?
Go for it. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. You go for yours, and then I'll see when mine is.
Right. My answer is the moment that you plan to sell something to somebody.
Pretty much, yeah, right there. I was going to say, the minute you decide you're going to sell something, you should be a business. And I don't understand why people think it's so hard. I mean, you can.
Well, and I think that's what keeps them, though, is that it's exactly what you just said. They think it's hard or expensive, right? So.
Because you can get. I was going to say, call up the government. You can go to the what's the government site for it? Something
IRS.gov.
Yeah, IRS.gov, and you can get your EIN. And guess what? You're a business, right?
Yeah.
You have your EIN. You can use that to open your checking accounts. You can use that to open your wholesale accounts. Some of them want maybe more of a business license, a resale license, or things like that. But at least you have that first step, and then can get the rest of it.
And that first step is free, completely free.
Yep.
Yeah.
Completely free. And a lot of times, if you're county or city based, there might be a $10 fee for a resale, license for that area.
Yeah.
It depends whether it's city, county, state. Getting that EIN will get you in the door at a lot of places, and then move from there. Then you can decide, when do I want to, be, if I want to be an LLC or incorporated or everything else that comes along with it. But that EIN is so simple and easy to do. And once you have it, I mean, if I remember right, you always have it. It's the same number forever. Even if you switch businesses, that it always goes back to that first business. Because I talked to somebody that said when they had it there, it was part of their. When they put it in, it said it came back as their daycare, and they're like, you don't need to change it because you're a soul, so everything comes back to you anyway. So it doesn't matter until you bump up from there. But yeah, it's super simple, super easy to do. You can do it all online. I don't know. I can't think of a benefit to not do it. It far outweighs it. Yeah.
Get that EIN. But I think that you should also still take that second step. I know that that's kind of where it does get a little bit more complicated. It's also possibly going to cost you a little bit of money but once you register with your state, and like Todd mentioned there, it could be called a resale certificate or business license. Every state's a little bit different with how they do it. But by having that, we'll just use the general term of resale certificate, resale license, now you're not paying sales tax twice. And if your state's somewhere that has a sales tax, which a lot of states are, if you are paying your vendors, so you're buying blank products, you're buying something for somebody and you're paying that sales tax, well, you're still technically supposed to take sales tax from your end customer and then pay that into the state. So now you've paid sales tax twice and you didn't need to pay sales tax to your vendor. Right. And so there's that part of it. Like you said, you're going to be able to buy things at a wholesale rate more easily. So yeah, I don't see a whole lot of downsides to it. When you get into, okay, do I become an LLC and all that other stuff? Yeah, you probably want to consult a tax professional to kind of get them to give you the best advice for your specific situation. But even that can be done on your own and then, kind of repaired. I did mine on my own at first and obviously have a little bit of experience with it. So it wasn't that big of a deal. But after talking a little bit deeper with my accountant, I realized, okay, we probably actually need to, instead of being just a straight LLC, we needed to be an S corporation LLC to have a little better tax protection. But it was like one form we had to fill out and it was done. So it's not like, so it all sounds and seems more complicated than it really is. And so, yeah, that's why it's always like the second you plan to sell something to somebody and take money for it, that's when you should go legit, because I mean, really, it's just protection for yourself. It's the way to do business. And even like Todd said, even if you don't, end up not doing a whole lot with it, or you're going to change things later on down the road, I think having that in place, because I can give you one other good reason for this, Todd. So the other good reason for this is, let's say you do that, you get that EIN number and you've kind of set up as a business, and then, yeah, things change and then you go away, but then you come back and you say, oh gosh, I'm ready. I'm going to go all in and I need to go get some equipment and, I'm going to lease that equipment. Well, if you have not done that to that point, doesn't matter how long you say you've been in business for, until you get that number, that leasing company will not recognize you as a business. And so then you become a new business. And so you either can't be qualified to get that lease, or you're at this super high rate. Whereas if you would have just gotten that, 4 or 5 years ago when you started whatever, and then just sat on it, that's still showing, oh, well, I've been in business since X date. And that gets you out of that new business bracket when you're trying to get a lease or a loan. So.
Yeah, I don't know if it happens much anymore, but I know 15, 20 years ago, it was very common for people to have, the shelf businesses where people would register businesses and have it there, and they would let them sit for the 5 years and then they would sell them to somebody. So here, yep, you're established 5 years, your DNS number, all this stuff ready to go. So you have a ready-made business to go. And I remember it was like, I think it had to have been early 2000s, because that's when everything was crazy, internet, everything, it was a whole different ball game of stuff. But it was, it was, that's when I first started learning about business credit and how it worked, and how, in reality, I should never pay for anything with cash, just credit everything and just go and just pay those off. There's way more to running the business than just running a business, and you learn all the fun stuff along the way.
Yeah, for sure. All right, I want to go hit this one from Becky here. Says, we don't have business license here, but it's free to get our state resale certificate. Here's the other, that's a really good point, Becky, that at least brings to my mind a point here. Your states, even if it doesn't seem like it's easy, they do try to make it as easy as possible for you to get that resale license, because at the end of the day, they want you paying sales tax, right? That's how they bring in money to, pay the things that the government needs paid for. So, if for whatever reason it seems a little complicated in your state, get on the phone with them. Call that taxation organization in your state I mean, heck, reach out to me and I'll point you in the right direction if you need it or whatever. But it is really something that should be easy. And again, the second you're plan on selling something to somebody, that's when I would get that in place, right? So
I'm right there with you.
Yep. All right. Let's Tanya mentioned that she answered a lot of that as well. That the EEM show is very newbie oriented. Great opportunities to educate from the beginning. All right. So let's go back to the vendor event thing here real quick, Todd. Becky said, I found vendor events with too many vendors is overwhelming for customers and they have a difficult time making decisions. I've also found events organized around free family activities. People are just there to have fun. So, take all that into consideration.
Yeah, it was. In fact, that was one of the things that that kind of led to the vendor talks for us at the school. Was that somebody said, "Well, we should do that for the fall festival too," and I'm like, "But you want people there to have a good time and do that, and now you want, I said it is one of those things where they're there for that. They're not there to shop in that. So, it was a great point.
Yeah, and as for the event organizers, those things are hard, right? They're trying to get people in there, so they got to, kind of balance those things out. And so, like you said, if it's somebody that's willing to listen to you and look for solutions and look for ways to grow the vendor event, then that certainly seems like one that's worth putting a little more effort into than somebody that's like, oh, this is the way that we're going to do it, and if you don't like it, because they're not filling those things up anymore, right? There's plenty of space left nowadays in a lot of those deals. So all right, well, I think that's all we've got, Todd. I don't know what else is on the horizon. If anybody else has any other comments or things I'd like to share, anything else that we needed to share on either of those questions?
Yeah, I think we covered it there. It was one of those where we weren't 100% sure, if we're having it, so we just notified today, but we will, because training is, let me look at the calendar.
12th. So we've got 12th. Next Wednesday available.
Next Wednesday. Yeah, so we can do. And now you see with StreamYard, you see the update with that. When you schedule stuff on StreamYard, it now creates a Facebook event.
It does. Which also means that you don't have to be within that week. You can schedule further out in advance. So
yeah, very nice.
Definitely very nice. Yeah. So I'm available next Wednesday, the 5th. So we're in. So
we're in.
We should probably find where people can go put their questions in, huh?
Yeah, we should post that.
There we go. If you go to oursuccessgroup.com/QA, any questions at all, we will take all questions. We've answered some pretty interesting things over the time that we've been doing this, right? Not just about business. Obviously, we can talk about the business stuff all day long, but
we'll
we can talk about anything.
That's what we're here for. Because let's see, and then what else we have coming up? So the 12th is that Terry on the 12th?
Yep. Scheduling and estimating production time. Actually, I guess one other, while we're talking about that, before we get too far away, when we talk about the vendor thing, I'm really proud of the training that we put together on that. So we do have quite a bit of information about vendor events, kind of the setup, how to budget for them and all that other stuff. So if you're an OSG squad member, you can go back and check that out. If you're not an OSG squad member, sign up today. All right. No reason to. You can actually see it right down below me there, osg.link/join. We are growing. Actually have got some really kind of cool stuff in the works, some ideas and things like that I think 2023 is going to be incredible, and so I think you're going to want to be a part of the OSG squad, because what we've always done, Todd, and every time I tell people this is how we've done it, I always get told how crazy and stupid that is, because I mean, the reality is the OSG squad members today get so much more than the folks who first signed up, but the folks who first signed up, they're getting the same thing at that same price of when they first signed up. So we always lock in the price. Whatever price you're at, that's your price for however long you're an active member of our success group. So
100% there. And I would like for you to rephrase that. And instead of I think, what are you going to say? I know.
Yes.
2023.
Yes. So I can't really talk about a whole lot of any of it because I don't have a whole lot of information on it. In fact, I haven't even talked to Todd about any of this stuff yet. So
That's what happens when
we
he
haven't talked
decides
to
to
each
tour
other
the
in
country.
probably 2 or 3 weeks, man. It's been since the 5 keys of marketing, I think, for the most part. So
because it went right from there. It was a whirlwind of stuff going on. So
yep,
we knew it was going to be a busy time.
Yeah. So anyhow, but I can guarantee that what's coming up, you're going to want to have that price locked in. So again, our success group, osg.link/join, or you can just go to oursuccessgroup.com,
which is right over in that corner. I can
right below me down there.
Right there. Yeah, so, there it is.
Yeah. But if you want to ask a question for next Wednesday, the 5th, oursuccessgroup.com/QA. So check that out. I think that's about it, man. Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, we've got Terry coming up on the 12th, scheduling and estimating production time. And then we've got some other stuff. We've got some copyright and marketing guy coming up in December. We're going to talk about inventory management in November. And then, like I said, we've got some really cool things that I think, because I will have the book done by the end of the year. So great progress with that. And I think we're going to do some things around that as well. And so, yeah, exciting stuff for sure.
Awesome. And then who do you have on Regular Guys this week?
So we are going to be a little bit later. So it's going to be noon Central Time on Friday, because the gentleman that we're bringing in, he's in LA, and we couldn't make a time work on the normal time. But we really want him in because his name's Max Hellerman, and his company is called Family Industries. And if you go to familyindustrieslive.com, you can check it out. But they do a ton of live event, kind of live screen printing. They even do live embroidery, live sublimation, and they go into like different. So it's not just going to your local craft fair and doing it live. I mean, they're going into like brands and stores and places like that too. So Max is going to come in and share with us all. I'm going to, if you guys have questions you want me to ask Max, let me know. But yeah, that will be noon on Friday at tworegularguys.com. So check that out with Max Hellerman. And
so how does that affect the half? You really are have to, how's that work?
So the half will be at 11:30. It done it, boom, and I'm in. The half might
change rooms to do
a couple of minutes early because I'll have to get Max in there. But and then the other thing that'll be fun this weekend, so I've been going like crazy. Well, Eric and Terry are going to be off at Fort Worth, so I'm rolling solo on Friday. So
very nice. Very nice. That means we got like a 4-hour show. We got a 4-hour show because there's no half after it.
Always goes on. I mean, looking at what Max has going on and then just kind of talking to him, he's willing to share. Like, it seems like he's willing to share it all, right? So why not? Let's get everything we can out of him.
And that's the thing that, I've always said to people is I can give you everything about my business, exactly how we do it. And that doesn't mean that, one, you're going to succeed, and two, that you're going to have, the same results, because you're going to do things your own way. You're not going to follow that. You're going to have a different market than we have. You're going to have this. So having that knowledge is you're going to take bits and pieces that and be able to create your own plan for it, because that live event printing, that is an entirely beast on its own. And I have a couple friends that I know that do it where, they went into, here's a brand launch, and that day, they're going to the store and they're printing stuff in the store. Here's the designs for it. And it's crazy to watch. And, they're flying them in for it. They're flying in. The amount of money that they pay to have somebody come in for like a 4-hour event, crazy. Yeah. But that's what they want, that experience. They want everything with it. It's just such a cool concept to see, and to see one done well. It's not just, hey, I'm set up at the softball diamonds. We're coming here to do this. It's that whole event mentality around it. And the ones that I've seen, there's no real pricing or anything with it. I've seen it where it's, the last one I thought was pretty cool was it was for a wedding, where they got to pick out wedding shirts. And so that's what they did. They had a screen printer there, and there was designs of that. And that was like, everybody's party favor was a shirt, just cool. It's very out of the box type of thing, but that's what they
Yeah.
did. There's so much. Our business is amazing. Let's just say our business is amazing. The things that we can do and the joy that we can bring to people through what we can do with these. Man, I couldn't ask for a better profession. I really couldn't.
Yeah. No, totally get it. Totally agree with you there. And like you said, Todd, the thing that's important though is doing it right, is getting it, just how we talk about in our success group, right, of getting a workflow and organization. When you're going to do an event like that, I mean, it's imperative that you've got all the kinks worked out and that that you have a good flow. It's not just, like you said, set up and go. It's there's a whole process to it. So going to be a great conversation on Friday, and I'm looking forward to talking to him. And so that's Friday's going to be a fun day.
Be here before you know it. Here before you know it. And then Small Business Saturday, back for that for this.
Small Business Saturday on Saturday. Yep. We'll get back to that. We I got done. So I knew it was going to be a busy day, but on Saturday, I got there in the morning at 8, and we had the vendor panel thing that they did. In fact, I streamed that live on Facebook. And then I actually forgot to turn it off, and I walked to the other room, and I came back and I'm like, oh crap, my phone's still on. But anyways, so started that, right? And so they're talking away. And then I did pretty much from about 10:15 until I think it was about 2 or 2:30 ish, nonstop. I mean, shocking that I talked that long, but I had three back to back with like a half hour in between each. And honestly, in between each, I was just having conversations with the people that were staying or kind of following up with questions and stuff like that. So by the time I was done, my plan was to get back to the hotel, get some food, and then do Small Business Saturday. And I had lost my voice. Literally, I was like, I can't talk. So so I said, you know what? We're going to move that to this Saturday back to the normal time, 9 a.m. So
perfect.
Yeah, definitely. So what about you? What's on the horizon? I know Morning Mindset's going strong, and then,
which we did this week. Last week we officially got monetized on YouTube, so that was that we're getting there. So we're making about 40 cents a month. So hey, all right,
there you go.
Killing it on that.
Was that on the Fat Dad channel or?
Yep.
Cool.
So we tried a couple different things to see how that worked. And that was all part of, this marketing thing. What are we doing and how can it work? And we just been trugging along on that one. And so that happened there. But Morning Mindset, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Tomorrow, we got another bundle drop. In fact, I'm going to do 2 of them. We got a Christmas one and a kind of a Nomi coffee one. And so that's what we're doing tomorrow at 2:00. Ugly Sweater Christmas tomorrow. And there's some choice ones in there that have got some chuckles from some people. So, hey, that's part of it. So yeah, now when we looked at, we're live 5 days a week, folks, 5 days a week. We are live, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday with Todd. I did not burn any, which was there. We made sashes. So I was proud of myself on that. Glitter did not do me wrong, but we just keep pushing the stuff and keep getting spreading the gospel, getting as many people as we can to get them inside our circle, because we want everybody to be successful. So that's what we're going to continue to do.
All right, good deal, man. Well, I say let's get out of here, and you will. It's a bundle drop tomorrow, and then all the 2 regular guys, the half. My buddy Eric, I don't know if he's going to do the take up. I'm sure he'll be doing something live from Fort Worth. He always tries to figure out something. And then Small Business Saturday on Saturday, and then right back at it on Morning Mindset on Monday, right? And you got Friday Morning Mindset on Friday too.
Yep, so. Right back at it. We just keep the circle going.
All right, good deal. All right, everybody. Well, I think that'll do us, Todd. So let's see everybody back here on the 5th. Make sure you get over to oursuccessgroup.com/QA to put in your questions. And so that way we've got some questions to answer next Wednesday. So, all right.
Yeah.
See you guys later.
See you guys.